A potter is at work, creating and shaping a beautiful product. A product made with care, sensitivity and love, and one he is justifiably proud of. He first gives the clay a strong, lasting base, a foundation on which it will evolve. Then he begins to shape it, giving it an identity of its own. Finally, he carefully smoothens the rough edges and imparts his final touches. Touches that will make it strong enough to withstand the greatest of knocks. He goes on to create and mold numerous other pots, each one unique in its shape, design and appeal. He is proud of each one of them. It is with the same love and dedication that the Christian brothers and teachers at St. Columbas have nurtured us and have transformed us from callow youngsters into responsible adults, equipped to face the world. Only this process took a little longer, 13 years. A memorable 13 years. The story began on a morning of April 1990, when we, the young impressionable minds, entered a new world. We were filled with anxiety and apprehension, but the tender care of the Christian brothers instilled new confidence in us, steeling us to face the challenges and obstacles that lay ahead, and assuring us that they care. The wheel had begun to spin. The new foyer and brightly colored classrooms symbolized a new and appealing world to us. The teacher was like a second mother, as she tried to control the spirited youngsters we were, while constantly grooming our personalities. The main reason for coming to school used to be the break time. We watched the bhaiyas on the other side and hated being called bacha by them. It used to be great fun. Wrestling with friends, imitating Tarzan on the jungle gym, playing catch and catch, and of course, harassing Santaram uncle. Brother Parton's office can never be forgotten. The tarred road, the sharp turn, the fall, the scraped knee, ending with brother applying red medicine and giving us stickers for not crying. Oh, how many wounds would we bear now just to relive one of those crazy, carefree days at the junior school. Junior school was the place where we tried to get a grip on things. But the plans were foiled by Sao sir, who used to fling us into the wretched pool, no matter how hard we used to cling on to him. The computer lab used to be great fun. We learnt Logo and about the turtle. Sometimes we even played Pac-Man. The Great Hall will always remain as one of the fondest memories of the junior school, where we discovered with awe and wonder Shah Rukh Khan's name among the Sword of Honor awardees lists. We participated in many events in the junior school. Races were one of the most prominent. Junior school was great fun, where music meant screeching, art meant scribbling, and punishment meant CJM. The molding continued as we started taking form. Then came the first jolt in the joyride. Promotion to class 4. Entry into the middle school. Middle school, the land of the unknown. With this in our mostly empty heads, we walked into the middle school, and unfortunately, right into the thick of things. We learnt how to really trouble the teachers, and were introduced to the new nuisance called examinations. But the middle school too had its fun days. Remember how Mr. Bhaskar and Mr. Patel used to play with us, arguing over calls in cricket? Well, just like our students. There were many activities in the middle school aimed at developing our skills. The middle school auditorium was almost like a default venue. It was visited innumerable times, sometimes as the audience, and sometimes as the participants. The sick bay with nurse inside was an asylum for those who wished to escape the teacher's wrath for not doing their homework. The true ingenuity of the Columban resulted in incredible excuses. The coin gobbler outside the headmaster's office accepted coins but never worked. We lost so much money that we could have bought a new mobile phone with the amount. Though we did occasionally study, we spent most of our time making up the much needed sleep and keeping our growing appetites satisfied. The canteen, an indispensable part of our lives, was inarguably the best one in school, and the variety was amazing. But the mob during the break was very deterring, especially on birthdays, when the coke bath was inevitable. The unavoidable boards, looming large, made us bored students of class 10, forced to ratify never-ending portions of history and geography late into the night. We swore never, ever to touch a book again. The about-to-be-finished product had almost been made, like the rough, uncut diamond, in the process of maturing into fine young men, ready to have nerves of steel. The wheel still went on and on, never being allowed to cease by the tender, caring hands. As the young boys of yesterday, we suddenly found ourselves at the gate of the citadel of knowledge and growth, the senior school. Senior school meant long hours of serious studies, the inevitable unit tests and exams, and of course the occasional interlude when cheating became a convenient recourse. The counselor's room was a place where we unburdened ourselves. The labs were what made studies interesting. The chemistry lab, where we smelled poisonous and pungent gases unknowingly, was undoubtedly the most exciting. We broke test tubes worth enough money to buy a glass factory. Manipulating the observed results in the physics lab, and of course, playing games on the computer instead of programming, and yet not getting caught. These were great highs for us. The senior school was full of opportunities, which developed our personality and boosted our confidence to stand up and speak for ourselves. Our oratory skills were honed by a series of debates. Budding actors held everyone in their sway in drama. And no one can forget the genius that was brought out in us in conflux and effervescence. We spent many an afternoon to bring out the school magazine. The Columban Open Quiz tested our wits and pleased many an eye. The recently concluded Columban Fest provided a chance for every student to exhibit his talents and win accolades. Our entry into the senior school life was marked by the customary song and dance, and fun and food. Unfortunately, it was all at our expense. The 3 by 6 feet stall was to be our canteen for the next 2 years. Rarely did we get to eat, as after a lot of mutual sharing, dosti ke naam pe, nothing was ever left for us. PT periods were treated like winning lottery tickets, as they were only once a week. Other activities which included social calls to neighbors to fulfill certain purposes on the pretext of playing football.
Only one of you.
मैं जाऊंगा. And exchanging phone numbers took place.
What is mobile number? What is your smile number? Karni hai private party. What is your private number?
The assembly is an integral part of the senior school life, where many invocations to the Almighty were made, to make the view beyond the walls of our school more attractive and much more interesting. Senior school is incomplete without punishments. Wrong uniform, bunking class, and no lab coats. The reasons were endless. These punishments were not out of spite or anger. They were for our own good. And they steeled us and taught us to own up our mistakes and face the consequences. They made us aware of the fact that we were no longer frolicking boys. But fine gentlemen. We were now adults. These bittersweet experiences have crafted us into outstanding individuals, daring to be different. The diffident young ones of KG now walk out as confident young men, ready to take on the world. However, the memories linger.
A name in the sand will never last. The yearly winds blow steady and fast, and the name is seen no more. All that is left are memories of yore. Where we have left a mark behind, we shall soon have nothing to find. But wherever we are, the memories will never be far. Although we may not be with you, remember, we will always care for you. Those memories will last forever, and in them, we shall always be together.
In the words of Shakespeare, the show must go on. And it does. It certainly does. More wet clay needs moulding. The potter takes up the clay, and his work continues. Another Columban is born.
Our very own. Columbus is a wonderful school. 'Tis our very own. So sing, all Columbans, sing with heart and soul. Columbus is a wonderful school. 'Tis our very own. Little we know what Columbus does, little as we are. Little we know what Columbus does, little as we are. But when we step into life so big, we know what Columbus did. Columbus is a wonderful school, 'tis our very own. Columbus is a part of us, important it shall be. Columbus is a part of us, important it shall be. When we grow into men so big, Columbans we still shall be. Columbus is a wonderful school, 'tis our very own. Columbus taught us all we know, it taught us what to do. Columbus taught us all we know, it taught us what to do. It taught us what is good and bad, it gave us the right value.